Skirious problems.
Right, Mika, what's your Skirious problem, mate?
Man, I've got a fucking serious problem this time. See, last podcast, I think it was the last podcast, was it? No, maybe 2 podcasts ago. I was slagging off people doing heat sessions and stuff, but then I was like kind of reading on it even more, and I was like, oh, it's like all this scientific stuff. Maybe you know what? Maybe I should give it another go. And then yesterday, I opened up Instagram. Pop, Frida Carlson pops up. Mate, I'm not fucking allowed to use science anymore to make me a better skier because apparently it makes skiing shit. I'm fucking gutted.
Yeah, or you should give a bit more background on that. She was saying that
Uh,
it becomes too medical and too clinical with skiing, and she should be allowed to do whatever she wants and what she feels like doing.
it's like, oh yeah, people just trust lactate measurers, heart rate monitors, and sleeping rings more than their body. Which, to be fair, there is some point in some stuff that she's saying. But the basic, so the underline was basically, uh, using all this science just makes people act like machines, and it makes skiing a bit worse than it can be because you're taking away this unforeseeability and
Yeah.
just like the magic is what she said. And then I was like, fuck, you know what, it's true. From now on we should only let talented skiers be good in skiing, and then all us not so talented skiers, we should just accept that we're shit.
Yeah, so that's the skier's problem. But talking of untalented skier, we have King of Trondheim on the podcast with us. How good a transition was that, mate? Welcome to the podcast again, KOT,
Oh,
Gabe
thank you.
Gledhill.
Thank you so much for having me on again. The first time went so well, I didn't need to apologize to anyone after I did the podcast. Didn't regret saying anything, so it went amazingly.
He did have to
But
apologize.
talking about the last podcast, it's been quite a journey since, mate.
Holy smokes. That
I mean,
was
it's like just the king's been on the rise. Then you were basically, you had it all, and then you just, from one day to the other, you just quit being the king.
I
But you
remember
know, real highness, real royalness can't be denied. And I think we're at the point now, or you're at the point now, where you're starting to accept that.
skiing needs us. We're unmovable force in skiing, so it's something that skiing sort of depends on. I feel the whole sport. But I do remember sitting in the lobby there eating breakfast, getting a call from you at the Home and Goal World Cup, and you in tears. You were in floods of tears there. I remember.
I
Just
mean, you were not only were you my king, but you were the king. And when like in a royal family, in monarchies, like the only way that kings and queens should leave the throne is by death. And I kind of went through that experience, when like the queen died. Like the whole world was fucking shattered, and like everybody was a bit like, I don't care in which country you live, everybody was a little bit affected in some kind of way. And I've kind of went through that again, but then I just felt that the king that was reigning in the kingdom I was living in, he had died, and that hurt me.
Yeah.
It like you, it hurt.
Right, before we hear too much rambling from Mika, I'm gonna give a little a little like kind of base for the listeners that don't know who the King of Trondheim is. I'm gonna do the
Mate,
first part, and then
nobody
there's
that
one
and
of
listens
then
to
the
the
two people in
podcast,
the world.
yeah. So
nobody listens to this podcast that does not know who the King of
The
Trondheim
one
is.
guy listening isn't gonna understand, but
right. Anyway, we'll explain it for the one guy. So Gabe Gledhill, British skier on the national team for Britain, got selected on the World Cup in Trondheim. This was like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, and then just got so happy about being able to do his first World Cup, and it was like the preparation for the Trondheim World Champs as well. So just went a bit nuts and started saying like, "Oh, let's fucking go, boys! I'm the king of Trondheim. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna own this city." And then it just kind of like blew out of proportions. And I think we were talking about it on the podcast a bit, and you were joking about making merch, and then suddenly he started making merch, and then suddenly everybody was buying it, and then it kind of like um, kind of blew out of proportions. And then when you were on the finish line on the World Cup in Trondheim, you did the hush on the finish line, even though you finished 56 or something, and people thought it was fucking hilarious. And then it kind of like everybody was talking
To
about
be
it.
fair, I think some people thought it was fucking ridiculous.
Yes, but it's like this thing where people unsure if they like it or not, or if they think it's ridiculous or funny. So then it kind of like separates people, and then lots of people kind of get into it. And I think it's way more successful than like a bland story of a skier that just comes in 56th place. So anyway, all that to say that um, everybody started talking about King of Trondheim, and then now it's pretty big. And now when you talk to skiers and you're like Gabriel Gledhill, and they're like, who? And then you say, oh, the King of Trondheim. Then they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know who that is. And it is actually like that.
Especially when you put it in the shortcut, especially when you just say KOT.
Yeah. And it's a bit like it got to the point where it's I think everyone that has skiing on their social media feed will get at some point in time something about the King of Trondheim, and then kind of look into it and understand it. But now, what's the real question is, mate, what is the movement King of Trondheim? Where was it before Trondheim World Champs, and where is it now?
I think we have gone through a generational run with KOT. Skiing's never seen anything like it. The movement we had going was unbelievable, even for me and Sevi to experience that. And obviously, it peaked at the Trondheim World Championships. The crowds on the 50K, having like, I don't know how many hundreds of people on a hill chanting KOT as you ski up, is like just puts hairs on your skin stand up. So it was unbelievable. Like the support out there on ski races was insane. And of course, from where we started to where we got to, it's I don't know if skiing really lacks these personalities. Obviously, you two are personalities, but people fail to latch on to other skiers that sort of like maybe don't have the results, but create something out of nothing in this stance of just doing a push over the line. So the movement went global. Australia, Switzerland, Austria, the US, Canada. So anyone that saw the KOT content was I think loving it. Almost the best was to get hate and love at the same time, because then people felt emotion. And you were saying it's controversial. It's totally controversial, and that's what we liked about it. It's more motivating to get people that hated it and who love reading the hate message of the stuff that KO2 would be doing.
Yeah, because I feel like when you get hate messages, it kind of shows that it's working.
Yeah. That's the best stuff. You're reading people are like, oh, I've been to Trondheim like a couple times, and he's definitely not the king. I was downtown, and he's not the king.
But like even you and me, me and you, Mika, we were like discussing it back in the day, and we're like, oh, I don't know if I rate it. And then it's just like kind of like, oh, do I rate it? And then gradually I got more and more into it. But like lots of times
I
I've
do
asked
want to say,
myself,
man,
like,
and you have to support me here in this statement. I did very much rate it, basically from the beginning. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Well, I thought some stuff, especially at the start, was a bit on the limit. But then I think you just have to see it with like like 3 or 4 filters. Like this is not second degree. This is like fourth, fifth, eighth degree joke.
But I think, and I'm actually gonna give him
Kudos.
some pats on the back here now, because like even if you just quit thinking about the KOT or whatever that's supposed to be, but like pure content creation, like you kind of grew a profile within the sport insanely quick without having any kinds of results, and that itself deserves like fucking recognition, I
That's
feel.
true.
And I actually feel that not only can, but I think we should learn from that. And I think what you just said, Gabe, um, is actually as true as it could be. Like skiing, we lack personas, and we lack. I think there's a few things we lack. We lack uh, insane competition, not on the track wise, but like rivalry. So we lack rivalry. Back in the days, you used to have Sweden and Norway, or Russia and Norway, but we don't have any Russians. And the World Cup, Swedes kind of decided that it's more fun to be shit. So, so there's it's now it's just all these like nice, um, super humble Norwegians winning everything, and they'd never say a controversial word anywhere. Try to be nice in interviews. Try to be nice. Talk nicely about people. Speak nicely about people, and it speaks for them skiers that they're just nice human beings. But also, it just makes a sport fucking boring, because I don't care how good their skis were, how much they like skiing faster. I don't care uh, how much they respect another athlete. Like, we want fucking rivalry. If I'm just a TV viewer, if I'm just sitting in front of the TV, I want to see this guy that everybody hates, or I want to see this guy that's like got insane rivalry with somebody else.
And that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to build, is people that hate it or love it. You're either with us or against us. And if you're against us, it's great because you feel like you should use energy on being against something. And if you're with them, then you feel like you're a part of something. And we've tried to build this community of skiers around the world that brings people together, that sort of, feel this extra sense of belonging in the sport that they are. And it's worked. Like, dude, we send live on Mondays at 7 p.m. from now on Instagram.
And then you
And
just
we
fucking invite everybody on your live that you have in your contacts.
But the thing is that when somebody joins for live, that's what they're spending the time on their phone. It's just the video of us talking crap. And they rather watch that than go on Snapchat or TikTok or anything like that. So it's community members, and that's what we want. We want a community of skiers around the world. And when you build a base of something that makes people feel like they belong, then you can have this like, it's not a superpower, but like, these people feel like they belong to something that other people may hate, and then they'll defend you and they'll defend the movement, and then it's like this, like, even greater
But
thing in
Jimmy,
skiing that they need.
I've actually, I'm gonna point myself to Jimmy right now. Like, how the fuck does Gabe manage to make something as ridiculous as the King of Trondheim sounding like it's like something fucking smart and like it makes sense and like it's good? The only thing he likes to do is to just go to the front of a race after 3 kilometers and just flex a little bit with his muscles, then do a little sprint, and he just does that at every long distance race he's done this summer.
but that's exactly the thing. Is like, I feel like King of Trondheim, after World Champs in Trondheim, you guys kind of had a bit enough. You spent so much energy on it, and like Sevi de Campo, who was helping you to do it, or you guys were doing it together. It was like you guys had done too much effort, and then this summer you started going to races, and you just couldn't help yourself to do some stupid shit in the races. So you went to the front of the race and blink and started flexing your muscles, started kissing your muscles, started making the hush. And then of course people love it, and they're like, oh, the king is back, the king is back. And then we were like telling Gabe, like, mate, your movement's not is not done. Like you can never be done with this because it's
Man,
him. I
just
think that's why he explains it
remember
so
the
well.
day.
It's because it's
Remember the
him.
day, mate, after the long distance race. Um, we were sitting out there, me, Muzzy, I think Catchy, I think you, and Gabe. So it's like there's actually like lots of World Cup top tens, a few podiums, like the winner of basically every Blink long distance race from like the last 10 years. And there's like these kids walking by. And the only thing the kids care about is like, KOT! Yo, KOT! That's when I was like, Gabe, you're not done. Like, King of
Yeah.
Trondheim is not dead. You cannot die. Like, KOT just lives on forever.
We had this team meeting before Allianz Loppet in the lobby area at the hotel. And it was with like Team Arkadali. And Astrid had asked me before the long distance race, are you going to go to the front and flex your muscles? And I was like, no. I'm just going to actually try and get a breakaway. And she's like, oh, okay, sounds good. Race turned out in the first lap that we managed to get to the front. And then when I was at the front and I saw this guy filming, there's something that just clicked. I had to flex. I had to do something. And then it kept on going. And it turned out that one of the Elon Oslofjord skiers broke away a bit. He didn't get that much of a gap. And then I was like, the camera's still here. There's still someone filming this. I got to flex again. And it's just like, I think it's someone has to do that more often. I feel like in World Cups, there was that video of Legkov and Nortug from the Tour de Ski, and he's like skiing up the hill, and then he gets tired, and like Legkov like pats him on the back mid race, and it's like these small moments in the race grow to be something bigger than the result itself, because like getting a clip of you flexing during Allen's Loppet or Blink or whatever, yeah, that's who was 12th that Blink.
Honestly, I'm gonna go even further, mate. I think that more people remember you flexing in Allianz Loppet than people remember who actually won the race.
Or maybe not win, but yeah, podium for sure.
I don't remember who won. Who won?
Who was
Allianz
fourth
Loppet?
place at Allen's Loppet?
Alva
Like,
Milbeck won.
Okay, but
Actually,
that's
Alman
also the
Riga
other
on our
thing with
team
like
was.
long distance races these days. If you'll just say Alvar Milbeck won, like in 99% of the cases, you'll be right.
Slight exaggeration, but yeah, okay. This summer, maybe.
Did he not basically win every race he's done this summer?
Yeah, I said this summer, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Wild how good the guy is.
another question.
What does the King of?
Yeah, I'll go for
yeah,
it,
you go
Mika.
on. Right now, nobody knows who's going to talk next, so I'll just take it from here. What does the KOT think about Frida Karlsson saying we shouldn't train scientifically?
Frida Karlsson was my dream girl growing up, so anything she says is gospel. I agree with her. If she hears this, Frida, I love you. So I mean, you see these trainers going nowadays with everything's like scientific. Training plan's got to be this way and that way and stuff like this. But I mean, if that makes skiing better, I think that's for the best. But I think it's an odd view to take that she doesn't think it's good for the sport. Training has got more scientific than less scientific in recent time.
I don't know if she thought it was not good for the sport. I just think.
Oh, she did say it takes away the magic.
Yeah, for sure. But I think maybe the message to get from that interview is more that you losing the human aspect of it, like human feeling, how you feel, how the persons feel, and it's just not just machines. I think that's more what she meant. But it does sound a bit weird. I agree, and I 100%
But I
agree
mean,
with you boys.
I also have to agree with her on the thing that it does sometimes take away a little bit the human aspect. But at the same time, like, I mean, yeah, there's people like herself, like Frida Karlsson. There's people like Johannes Klabo, like Alvar Mühlbeck, that just are 18 years old, come up to their first ever World Cup or World Championships and medal and win races straight away. And I think, like, obviously those people work super hard and they put in the effort and they put in the work. But if you come up that young, you manage to show off straight away from the first time you show up. I think that literally is the definition of talent.
Yeah.
But the hard reality is that for 99.9% of us, that's not the case. And if I ever want to win a race, Jamie, if you ever want to win a race, KOT, if you'd ever want to be top 50, uh, we're going to have to work ridiculously hard, be super smart about stuff. Yes, listen to our body. Yes, try to feel things, but also accept that science isn't bullshit. Science is real.
Yeah.
And if we can't accept the science, and that sometimes you have to go against your feeling, I mean, then it's better just.
Did you
Yeah.
believe in science before the 15K at Blink, or is that just feeling?
I'm gonna tell you something about 15K Blink now. You know, I did call up Benny Mosa like a week before already, and I think I was talking to Jimmy as well. And we made the plan like a week in advance that
Oh,
I was
more than
gonna
a week, I think.
That's pretty
probably
scientific.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's super scientific that if I go full gas, then the rest, and I do have a gap, then the rest has to go more than full gas to close that gap. So it's like that is science. If I go 34K an hour on the flat and I have a 5 second gap and the rest wants to close in, they have to go 37K an hour. And to go 37K an hour, that costs quite a lot of energy. So if you look at it from that point, it is also scientifically, yeah.
That's true. That's true. My question then is, what is the movement King of Trondheim going to look like in the next 6 years or year, let's say?
Well,
6 months.
Mika was saying he thought it was quite sad when it quote unquote ended after the World Champs in Trondheim, but it never really ended. We just kind of like the movement lives on. The movement lives within skiing, and the forward motion of the movement is bringing our community together around the world, and people that believe and fight for KOT and the KOT movement. So what we'll be doing is every Monday, 7 p.m., we'll be going live, and we'll bring in people who want to tune in, ask questions. We'll have like a questionnaire, and we can talk about different things that are going on, sort of like how you guys are going now within skiing at that time. And then we'll bring it to the World Cup, where we'll be going live before and after races, and sort of maybe giving a bit more of an insight and a bit more of a view. But the daily posting, the daily stuff like that, that's going to be less of, because we did it for a year. We posted, I don't know how many times, and we saw the effect of that. But now I think our base is strong enough that we can sort of become more interactive with them. But
Is there going to be more merch?
Yeah, we still have some leftover buffs from World Champs, as we didn't quite sell all the buffs. So there's some, but new merch, we haven't quite looked around at it. We were thinking something to do with some sport wear that you can wear while you're training, like technical wear, not just like casual tees like this one or the one you're wearing. But the merch worked really well, and people keep asking like, when's the new merch coming out? We're not like, you heard of Nelk? Like Nelk drops throughout like a few years ago. Throughout, they make like millions off their fan base. They just like drop, sells out in seconds, and it's like millions. But we didn't get quite to that level. But yeah, like merch did help the movement for sure. That was a good part of it.
Yeah.
I also like that you're comparing yourself to the Nelk boys now.
Yeah, he was also comparing himself to iShow Speed the other day.
Who's got more followers in cross country skiing though?
Depends if you Mika has the most for sure.
No, in I shall speed. No, just
Oh yeah, in
joking,
iShow Speed.
joking. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. You'd have to check.
Oh, nobody in cross country skiing has more followers than I should speed made. I think Club has
No,
got
no,
the
no.
most
He was just
around that.
saying how many cross country people follow iShow Speed. Is there more people cross country people following iShow Speed than King of Trondheim?
That's probably hard to answer.
Yeah, probably impossible. Yeah.
But that actually raises a question that I have.
Yeah.
How are we gonna make skiing mainstream? Are we ever gonna make skiing mainstream, or is it always just gonna stay this niche thing?
Nah, it's always going to be a bit of a niche sport.
Nah,
but
skiing deserves to be mainstream. The sport deserves to be mainstream sport.
But how the hell? I think we've talked to Johannes Dahle about this a little bit. How the hell is biathlon so mainstream and cross country skiing just isn't? Is there something we can do?
yeah, definitely something we can do as athletes. I think there should be more stuff happening from our side, like social media, podcast, movements like this. But I don't think that's what Battlon has. But they maybe have a slightly more exciting sport. But it's definitely
I also
like
think they just have better marketing and maybe a better setup on events as well. This is one thing, this one idea that I was playing with, or not playing with. It's not an idea that I have that's realistic to, or that I have a say in to turning into reality. But this thought I had, like, what's the one cool thing? If you look at Formula One before the race, when there's like the grid walk, and you just see all these people being on the paddock, and you just see like all sponsors, team sponsors, just rich people like walking around the garages, walking around the cars. What's the one cool thing, technical cool thing that we have in cross country skiing? It's the wax trucks and stuff. That's impressive. Like if
yeah,
you look at
true.
the
Yeah.
Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish wax trucks, these things are like 2-story things, and I don't know how many work spots they have in there, but I feel it's a fucking cool environment, like the whole waxing village. How the hell is that thing always completely empty? Shouldn't it be completely full of sponsors and people that are interested in skiing that just pay a fuck ton of money to watch that?
Yeah.
Even if that means for teams that, yeah, it's not going to be as quiet as it usually is.
But
Is
I
that a
think
stupid idea, or is that?
I agree with you on the TV of what like the audience is going to watch on TV. You've got timing, you've got the results of the race, but there's like nothing else going on. And I think while we've been watching the World Champs in athletics now, you've got like the results, the race going on, and then in between heats, you have like a little backstory going on. And what you could do with waxing is you could kind of explain the differences in wax for the ski race. Maybe that's pretty nerdy, but
No,
But
I
I
think
think the
there's definitely
people
some
like the
more.
nerdy stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely some more that can be done on this side of things. But I think the difference is just the incentive. Cross country skiing, the way it's set up, organized, with the federations and so on. Um, so I feel like the federations don't rely as much on sponsors, but they rely a lot on public money, and then they don't have necessarily the incentive to develop themselves in a way that's like super exciting. So there is like, of course, they realize that there's power in social media and so on, but it's not a requirement. They don't need to be like at the top end. And I think it's the same for the athletes. If each athlete had to manage, had to be basically an influencer to be able to race any races, then there would be a lot more people doing it. And
Yeah,
I
but I think
think
if you look at triathlon, for example, then we actually
exactly.
look at then we look at what you're saying now, and the athletes taking responsibility, because like there's so many triathletes that actually are insanely good on social media, are vlogging, actually giving out knowledge to consumers for free. but that's like, I feel, mainly the athlete side then. But if you look at the organizer side, then there's like so much stuff that can also happen without it actually impacting the life of the athletes so much.
It's
If
also
you just
the
get
timing, and sorry, but it's also the timing of stuff when this happens. You look at the World Cup in Lillehammer when they showed the prologue, is the best skiers in the world going out on TV at 9 a.m. on a Friday. Like no one's watching that.
yeah,
9 a.m. on a
I
Friday.
agree.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, it's like you can say the same thing with like, oh yeah, who the fuck watches like 5 hours of racing? But people do in the summer watch Tour de France for like 5 hours.
That's because the stages start at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, but
there's a
like-
very big difference, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Because
but
they
you
actually
you think in the
finish-
weekday, people that are like supposed to be on holiday will just fucking watch Tour de France. Like they do it, or like they could be doing lots of stuff, and then they
Mate,
watch
when is the
that.
Tour de France?
July.
Yeah, so what is usually the case in July in like basically
Yeah, that's
all
what I
of
said.
Europe?
It's people on holiday, but like they could be doing
People
all
on
sorts of.
holiday.
People could be doing all sorts of exciting stuff and just
Yeah,
decide
but this is
to
mate,
watch
but
Tour
this
de
is
France.
this is our strong point in cross country skiing that we have already, but that we should just make much stronger. We have the Tour de Ski, which is in winter holidays, and the Tour de Ski is the strongest product of cross country skiing of the World Cup. But we could
Yeah,
make it even
but,
better.
like-
We could make it bigger. We could make it more interesting. Just don't make it fucking 6 races in 8 days or 9 days or whatever. Make the thing 2 weeks, and then make the thing raise and create as much money that you can pay insane prize money. And honestly, if you can earn insane prize money for racing 2 weeks, but then yeah, maybe your run up to world championships isn't ideal. Honestly, money is the incentive, and we need to create more money in the sport. I think there's steps that can be taken fairly easily. Obviously, there's like stuff that needs to happen and people need to work on it, but I think that cross country skiing has lots of potential that can be reached fairly easily, and that's just not being reached because we kind of decided with all the ski federations, with FIS, with athletes, that we're just this traditional sport and we're just basically the hardest sport in the world, and we're the only sport in the world where we can't race more than 25 races a year.
It's weird that Mika wants more prize money on Tour de Ski, though. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
Yeah, I don't understand. It's a bit weird.
Tour de Ski.
Oh yeah. Oh right. He was second on Tour de Ski last year. So oh yeah. So yeah, actually,
he?
you just want more money, Mika, right?
I saw Hugo Lapalou was third, but I didn't see he was second.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna actually turn.
But
the table.
actually,
No, I'm
before
gonna turn
before
the
you
plot
say
around.
no,
Mate,
mate,
I'm gonna
just
turn the fucking plot around here. If nah, come on, you're making me look like a bellend because I earned quite good money last season, and you know what? I fucking did, and you know what? I fucking enjoyed it, and I got addicted to it, and I want to earn more.
yeah. So
But
yeah.
you, on the other hand, I think
Oh,
racing
here
would
we
be
go.
quite a bit more fun if you'd earn some prize money, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
if we
But I'm
create more money in the sport, then there's a bigger chance that there's more prize money for you to make. No?
yeah. But I was just saying it's funny that you want the Tour de Ski to be bigger when you're really good at it.
Oh, but if you get more money on stages, if you get more stages and more money on stages, then
Yeah, for
where's
sure.
the difference?
Anyway, I was just joking, but my point that I wanted to say since earlier was that the races should be exciting enough that you would wake up at 9 in the morning and be like, fuck yeah, like let's put the TV on and let's watch this race. When you're at work,
Nah.
you should have the race on your fucking phone while you're working. It's like you should have
mate.
the races that is
You
that
should-
exciting.
No. That's
that
up to the
people-
TV
Nah.
production. That's
Get-
up to
Or
the
get-
TV
that,
get
production.
that's
the
about
threshold.
building the fan base. Like that's
No,
all about
mate,
building the fan
you
base.
Build the fan base. You build people by getting the threshold to consume our sport as low as humanly possible. So get
It's one of the
good
ways.
time.
Sure, it's one of the ways.
It's
but
the
I'm just
easiest
saying.
way. Get it easier
So-
to consume.
Or are you saying like have as many people as possible just tune in and just like, or watch a little bit. Like
That's what
short
happens
term,
to Tour de
maybe.
France. That's why they get tons of millions of views.
Yeah, but I think there's also people that tune in, especially, and people that are like, even they're on holiday, they just take their phone and just look at it on their phone while they're visiting like Rome or something.
But you have all these people, you have all these cycling fans that watch Paris-Roubaix, that watch the Tour of Flanders, that watch the Giro d'Italia, but yet it's a tiny amount of people compared to the Tour de France, because the time to consume the sport is just perfect. It's July, it's warm outside. So when it's warm outside, it's nice to also watch the race. It's a good time to watch on television as well. It's
Why don't
Sure,
we just do the Tour de Ski in July then?
sure, that's definitely a part of it. But I'm just saying that making this, or it's one of the answers is also making it so exciting that you get up in the morning and you're just fucking motivated
the
to
last
watch.
time FIS tried to make the Tour de Ski exciting, they added a 5 kilometer heat mass start. So I think you got your answer there, mate.
I think the guy adding that in was definitely drunk.
Yeah. What does the KOT think about a 5K heat mass start, by the way?
Lots of opportunity to flex and hush, so we're up for it.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of the. There's so many things FIS could do to make the sport more exciting, and that's what they decide is the deciding factor. It's like it is a deciding factor for the overall Tour de Ski, which you have seen the effects of, and it doesn't make any sense. No one. There's not a single country apart from maybe Jimmy would know more on that. Who thought it would be good.
You know, technically, Switzerland, they're the one that proposed it. Technically, it wasn't FIS that proposed it. They have to implement it. It's all the
Yeah, but
federations that. But we've talked
this is
about
what
this
we've
many
talked
times.
about
But it's so
before.
easy
If
to
we
say,
talk
"Oh,
about
FIS
FIS,
should
we
do
don't
this."
peak.
And, yeah. Anyway,
We talk about our system. We don't talk about
Yeah.
the people working there. We don't, like, if we say FIS, then it's like the whole system, because that
Yeah,
just sums
sure.
it up.
Yeah, sure.
But what I would add is that the sport can grow if there's more controversial personalities in the sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
That's what we
100%.
need more of. We need people who split decision. If you love or hate Bolshanov, you love or hate Ustigov, you love or hate Kali Halvorsen, you love or hate Ivan Niskanen, you have to create a fan base that either loves these people or hates them. And
Honestly,
so
the name you just mentioned before, Kalle Halvorson, I'm going to say something that I actually believe is true. I think 95% of Kalle Halvorson's popularity right now still is only thanks to his rivalry with Nortuk in 2015.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw
100%.
them, Natalie and Sloppit, doing a piece beside the river where they're filming each other talking about the old days. And it's like, dude, like, I don't know how many years ago that was. Maybe 10? Like 15?
Yeah.
And it's still
Relevant, yeah.
It's still relevant. It's like,
Tell you what's funny about Kalle Halvorsen, he plays a fuckload of pool, like on pool table. Apparently, he like spends basically when he's not training, he does that, and he's super super good at it. So there's one time when we were in Falun.
he's probably been doing too much of that recently, eh?
Probably, yeah. When we were in Falun, and there was like the last party, and there was a pool table, and I started playing pool, and I'm obviously really really shit at pool, and I was just like about to I don't know, you say shoot, and he just looks at me, he's like, no, that's not going in, that's not going in, like really arrogant, and I just like do a really shit throw, and it just goes in perfectly, and then he was like, it's like I'm the next one playing, and like shows up and like sharpens his little pull cue, and it was all so professional.
Dude, if he
so-
brought that sort of attitude to the World Cup for the last 6 years, the sport in Sweden would be as big as football.
yeah. I mean, as you saying, football is not so big in Sweden.
As big. It is the biggest, so you'd have to
Yeah.
compare it to that. But it's
not the
still like
biggest. I don't
these
think it's the
big
biggest.
nations don't have these we got Mika in Austria. So it's like, do you think people hate you or do you think people love you? What do you think?
Nobody hates me, I don't think.
I think quite a few people hate me.
Nah.
Definitely some people dislike me. Tell you what, I don't think Jens Buurman or William Poroma like me so much.
Because
I
you
don't
keep
know, just
slacking them off on the podcast.
maybe, yeah.
It's
But
so easy to make fun of people on the podcast and then forget that we're going to have to meet them on every race afterwards.
yeah, I don't know. I always try to be
Nah,
cool
I
with
don't think
William, but I don't think he's. I don't know. Maybe also just doesn't give a fuck about me. That's probably
probably more likely.
more
Also,
likely.
we give shit to everyone, so I think that's okay, or mostly everyone.
Oh, I don't think we ever complain about getting shit back. So we're
No,
happy to
yeah.
discuss.
I have one question for not the King of Trondheim, but for Gabriel Gledhill, cross country skiing on the British team. How is it training for the biggest event of your career, the Olympic Games, and knowing that we only have 3 spots and there's 5 of us on the team, and historically you've been the 5th one?
It's motivating. I'd say it's a difficult at times, but also motivating at other times. As every top sport in the world has, you know, 25 players, but only 11 start the game. So competing for your spot is what makes you a better skier. And there's not enough of that in smaller nations, and maybe GB hasn't had enough of that. So I think it's great, that we're privileged enough to have to compete. So it's awesome.
Yeah, but I was more talking about how is it as well, knowing that you like competing kind of against your teammates as well, and like we're super good mates, but like if it comes down to you or me going to Olympics, I'm gonna do everything I can so that I go.
To what extent?
If you read in the news that Gabe fell down the stairs, that's probably
Oh, I just heard that lots of people in Lillehammer fall out their windows.
yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's obviously difficult if you're friends with someone and then you have to compete with them at the same time. But yeah, that's sport. That's what you sign up for at the end of the day, and that's what you should be prepared for. So I think it's fine. I mean, healthy competition is good. It's what makes you feel alive. Having healthy competition every day is good for you. But it's tough as well. If it's not going to go your way, then yeah, it obviously tampers the motivation a little bit. But that's not something you get an answer till January, February time, and there's lots of months before that. So we'll see how it goes.
But also,
They-
there's a different aspect to all of what you're saying there. Aspect that raises questions to the system again. Like, how is Norway getting? I mean, they are people have to understand. There's like this quota list that is made up of World Cup results, Junior World Championship results. I think even OPA and Continental Cup results. Do they not
Under
come into?
23s, World Juniors, and World Cup, basically.
Okay, so there's like different competitions that play a role,
Yeah.
and then there's just a list. Okay, this nation's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as of now, only 10 nations, I think, are having 4 or more quotas.
Yeah.
So that means that as of now, there's only going to be 10 relay teams at the start. And that, I think, is utter bullshit. I mean, IOC, FIS, media, athletes, we all talk about one thing that's like growing sports, it's like making it better, making it more attractive, not only cross country skiing, but every sport in general. And then they come up with a solution to qualify for the Olympics that most likely only 10 or 11, maybe 12 nations will be able to start in a relay. Norway, for example, I think has the max of quotas. What's that, Jimmy? 8?
8, yeah.
So they can send different people to the sprint, team sprint, distance races, relay, whatsoever. Austria, we are number 11 on the list. We have a quota of 3. So that
Yeah.
means we can't as of now, we can't do
Relay.
relay.
But that's the difficult thing is the way the system is done right now. You get a nation will get 6 spots before in the if they're in the top 10 before the 11th nation gets a 4th spot. So it goes like there's a ranking and it goes like in rounds, but and then so the 4th spot gets given after that. But the difficult thing is because IOC has been always pushing for because cross country is the sport of the Winter Olympic Games where there's all people that want to go to Olympics from a small nation, Africa or whatever. They don't really have a team, and it's just one athlete that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Olympics, and this is the sport I'm gonna do, and it's cross country skiing. So that's why our quotas have not gone down in the last like 15 years or something, or more even. And so
But
it's
that's needed though in a
yeah,
sport.
so that's needed, but so they've put a criteria, and there's no the thing is there's no limit for the amount of people that can go from the lower nations. So if they have a good enough race at the world champs or under 23s or world juniors, I think they can unlock a quota spot for those nations. So now right now there's 60 nations for the men that are going to Olympics. And so basically there's like 30 bit less than 30 nations that are or there's 15 20 nations that are competitive on World Cup, and then the rest maybe up to 30 is people that are trying with a team, and then after 30 is basically like single person nations. And then because there's no limit as to how many of these nations can be, then it's less quota spots for the big nations. So right now Norway only has 7 quota spots, but there's still 10 quota spots up for grabs. If they are still reserved for the small nations for the and then if they are not used, then it's if a nation doesn't send full quotas to Olympics.
But I think the sport really, really feels the effect of Britain and Austria not having a relay at the Olympics.
Yeah,
Like big time. You
Honestly,
see,
but think like there's good nations that did well in world championships that are actually in the race for quite a few stages of the relay. And then like traditional relay nations like Estonia, for example, or Kazakhstan, that have usually been quite good in the sport, that have always showed up, always come up with relays, and they won't get to do a relay. And I think I don't think that's
Poland,
a Poland,
Japan,
yeah.
Japan. Like honestly, everyone in the top, at least top 15, deserves to get a relay.
So
Australia, I mean,
I think
they're
it's a
showing up
bad
with full
thing.
quotas. Yeah, it's
I think it's a bad thing for the sport.
and
yeah.
it's also like bring back GB. There's 60 million people living in our country
Yeah.
tuning into BBC that would be shown on BBC. Like the publicity of it's awesome.
Yeah,
Like
and also I think that Olympics and World Championships, I've outspoken myself quite often that I'm not a fan of the federation system in World Cup, because I think in World Cup you should be racing with teams, but I think in World Championships and Olympics, racing for a nation is a thing to be proud of and a thing that's quite cool. And then to not allow nations that traditionally are quite good or can do super well in relays, I think it just harms the sport. I think it's shit.
Yeah, but I think FIS agrees with you. I think they got surprised by how many people managed to qualify.
if you think it's so shit, why didn't you do the relay at World Champs then, Mika?
Well, because I fucking hated myself that day. That was, okay, I'm actually gonna go into deep here. You know why I didn't do it?
Tell me.
No.
Because of Andrew Musgrave. Because
Okay.
anytime I've been talking to Muzzy, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm probably not gonna do the relay. Maybe I will, but honestly, it's a 50K that I'm gonna focus on." And if I'm not wrong, then that's actually what happened in Planica as well, because he wanted to do the
No,
50K.
I got COVID in Planet, so that's why we didn't race.
Okay, but that's like what I've heard from his side quite a few times, and then I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I believe everything that Muzzy says because Muzzy is my fucking god, and I'll just do whatever he does. And then I realized just a bit before that Muzzy was actually gonna do the relay, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should do as well. But then I've kind of already told everybody that I wasn't gonna do it in the summer, and then I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it when other people
Yeah.
were.
Did you feel
And then I
any?
was watching the relay, and I was like, I was so ashamed of myself. I was actually sitting in front of the TV, and I was like on the urge of crying because I was like, fuck, how the hell is Austria racing relay and I'm not there?
And also they're actually quite decent. What they end up 11, 12?
Benny
11,
hand
yeah,
over
yeah,
in
yeah.
like top 6, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit of
Tough
a
one.
pity there. But then I've also decided that I'm never not going to do a relay anymore when there's the chance to do a relay. And also I'm going to try to qualify for the team sprint, which in our team is actually not that easy because we got super good sprinters on our team.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the only race that Austria had a team, the only team event that Austria had a team that I could have been a part of, but I decided not to be. And I'll tell you, that's going to stay the only one.
Yeah. Oh,
There
wow.
was like 80,000 people out there in the stadium. I don't know. You just get addicted. You said you got addicted to winning or not winning, but getting money throughout the season. I don't know how you don't get addicted at World Champs to keep going out. I remember doing warm up laps before each event, and I'm just like, okay, I got to go out for another lap, another
Yeah.
lap. And like even like on the last lap of the 50K, I was just like looking around, taking it in. Like it was insane. So like I understand where you're coming from, crying on the couch before.
Yeah, I was hating life so much then. I was actually,
Yeah.
fuck.
Right. What's Gabe? We're gonna ask you another question that we've asked you before, but you're gonna ask to answer a different thing this time. If you have one event, one training session you do with two people, one place, what do you do? Where do you go? And who do you go with?
I am gonna choose a sauna with Laura Gimler
Okay.
and Andrew Musgrave in Finland.
Okay. Why Andrew Musgrave and Laura Gimler? Maybe.
I was quite sure you were going to say Frida Karlsson, but now I'm
Yeah.
actually a bit.
Why not? I know Muzzy quite well. I don't know Laura quite well. I think all three of us could get to know each other in a sauna.
Okay, how well do you want to know them?
Me? Oh no, it's just casual Finnish sauna. It's how many saunas in Finland? 3 million, 4 million. So pick one of those.
What's the incentive to what was your incentive to say Laura? Like, what do you think about her? Would make it
makes you
so
feel-
much fun, or would make it
Yeah.
worthwhile?
Worthwhile. I don't like. I think it's good to make new friends on the World Cup. So to get to know her would be amazing. And yeah, I think she's a really nice person. So I'd love to get to know her through a warm sauna in Finland.
Interesting.
And she's single as well. Is that any incentive?
Oh, she's single? Oh,
Mate.
yeah, that, never know. Might play a part, might not. So
Yeah.
Wait, but how's Frida gonna feel about this if she
Yeah,
hears
mate.
about you talking about her being the girl of your dreams, and then now you want to invite Laura Gimler to your sauna?
well, I did just hear news that Frida Karlsson is not single anymore. So that would be a bit of a difficult one, I think.
But come on, you're the King of Trondheim. I mean, nobody compares with the King of Trondheim.
That's what I thought for a long time, but Frida obviously didn't agree with me and got together with another girl. So
What with another girl?
With another girl.
with another girl, with another guy. Sorry. Sorry.
I was like, okay, that's wow.
News, yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
Skirious problems. You heard it here first.
She didn't even know herself, eh? She found out through Skirious. Oh,
Maybe you were more interested in Andrew Musgrave in that sauna than Laura Gimler.
nah, I don't know. Like, I don't like. It's not something you go into detail with. You know, it's just three people getting to
Oh, we
know each
kind of
other.
want you to go into detail.
Yeah. Right, I think we'll let him go. Anything else, Mika? You wanna add to this good little podcast? We had a good fun recording, so
Honestly, I could just go on forever because I'm having lots of banter here, lots of fun. But I need to go to Vienna in 20 minutes, so I should probably get ready soon.
yeah, we have a team camp to finish today, so yeah. That's
Talking
good.
of team camps and Andrew Musgrave, I think he would do with a sauna these days. He hasn't trained the last couple of days while we've been on camp.
Oh
We're
yeah,
just
mate,
staying
that
at
is
his
actually
place.
quite exciting.
That is
stuff.
news. That is news.
Yeah, that is actually, mate. We do a training camp. Me and Gabe are staying at Andrew Musgrave's, and then after one session intervals, he decides, "Oh, I'm shit. I'm not going to train for the next 2 days," and so he hasn't done any training with us so far, or he's done one session with us and
Is he
decided
going
he
to
was
be
shit.
good before the winter again, or is he just on the smell?
He's on the smell, but he's gonna, Muzzy's like shit for like 2 hours and then is good again. So
True.
I'm not so worried about his overall shape.
True.
But right now, at this point in time, he's maybe not in the best shape.
It'll be interesting to see if he gets manages to turn things around again. But I guess we'll see latest at the Olympics. So or
Yeah.
not at the Olympics if he doesn't manage to.
What happens if Muzzy doesn't do the relay at the Olympics? Will you?
I don't know. Right now. I'm kind of feeling that I might be on the smell as well. So
How was it in
I'm-
Fondremont? How was the lads there?
honestly,
Was good?
Fondremont was so good. Yeah, I literally do not understand why I went to different places for altitude before,
Yeah, it's nice there.
especially for summer training. I mean, autumn training when you want to ski on glaciers and stuff, it's probably not ideal, but like summer training or like September, even the weather's super good usually. Such nice different roads to roller ski on. Quite a good roller ski track as well. It's a bit short, but it's quite good. Bit like Andrew Musgrave, a bit short but quite good.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, no, it was quite good. But boys, I'm actually gonna have to wrap this one up now because I'm gonna have to leave.
Right.
Thanks.
Have a good one
for joining
Thanks
us.
for the tuning in. Farewell.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Skirious Problems, your number one Nordic skiing podcast. Peace out.